is officially the 2021 Madden cover athlete.
That curse been dead since Drake and Patrick Mahomes, honestly. It's like I feel like we're in a different time now. Like, remember when the Madden thing was really a curse?
Yeah, there was a cool 8 years.
I feel like Troy Polamalu just made that sacrifice that Black Widow made in Avengers Endgame and just took that curse upon himself. Because Larry Fitzgerald clearly did not suffer from the Madden curse. I think it died there with Troy
I thought
Polamalu.
it was pretty cool how they made that clip of all the different Madden athletes welcoming Lamar Jackson. I thought that was pretty cool. Pay homage to the lineage of the curse, I guess you could say, but still, I enjoy stuff like that.
Tis true. Well, Trump co-signed Colin Kaepernick.
Why don't you talk about this first? Because I'm gonna go on a fucking long ass tangent about it.
We may or may not have a caller, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. But anyway, yeah, so Donald Trump pretty much came out and said that Colin Kaepernick deserves a second chance of being signed after pretty much calling him a son of a bitch, saying he's terrible. All a bunch of horrible things. And then pretty much saying, Goodell, you pretty much backtracked for no reason. And then if I was going to lose a lot of support and a lot of viewers and money because of it. And then he turns around and says Colin Kaepernick should be signed. Thoughts, words, feelings, opinions?
Do you want to say anything before I fucking go on a tangent?
Donald Trump is the epitome of an aspect of white supremacy, is that white supremacists take both sides of an issue. That's what you always need to remember when it comes to these type of people who have this white supremacist mindset and racist ass mindset and are ruthless, cruel, unforgiving businessmen.
They're front runners, right?
They literally will sell their left arm out if they're right. They will literally, they will just sell out anyone to get anywhere. They're worse than front runners. At least front runners will admit it, but they will be like, "No, I was in the back. I was
on the right side the whole time."
Yeah, like him saying this when he literally took out ads and tried to get the Central Park 5 hung and
This
killed.
is what I'm talking about, though. This is why I was so mad when Goodell came out with that fucking video last week, because they set this whole fucking precedent up. So if we're going to accept the apology from Goodell and the NFL,
accept it from Trump.
You have to accept it from Trump. You have to accept it from everyone. That's why it's so fucking problematic. And to be fair, he's probably right. The NFL will probably lose viewership and shit over this because they lost it the first time around. You could literally get your money back for your DirecTV Sunday ticket if you just said you were canceling because of Kaepernick. I know, because my boss is a Giants fan. And he's like, yeah, I really don't even care. I just told him that to get my $200 back.
Why are you dry snitch?
Anyways.
Statute of limitations?
Yeah, pretty much. Something like that.
Better hope so.
But yeah, besides that, I've already said, before I get to Kaepernick, the last thing I'll say about the NFL side of it is they're already going to lose that viewership. So that's why it's also kind of lazy, cute that they're going to come out and say this and take that risk, knowing that the whole season might not happen anyways. So they're probably going to lose a shit ton of money anyways and probably write it off anyways. So, might as well get more black viewers if we're already going to lose a shit ton of viewers.
At least he didn't come out with a kente cloth on. I would have lost my shit, by the way.
Which brings me to the Kaepernick side of it. And I've said it on Instagram and people have got mad. I said it on Twitter. I said it on the show multiple times. I'm tired of hearing about fucking Colin Kaepernick. I'm tired of it. I am so fucking tired of it. I get it. Give that man his due. He sparked the movement. He was the catalyst. He was the one who paid an ultimate price. But this movement was never about Kaepernick. It was always about police brutality and systematic racism
and white supremacy.
The people that made it about Kaepernick was the NFL. They made it about Kaepernick by, one, making it about the flag, and two, blackballing him. And now everybody is buying into that narrative. Everybody's buying into that by saying each time they see the NFL talk, going on Twitter and saying, well, Kaepernick still doesn't have a job. Well, Kaepernick needs to be signed. Well, Kaepernick this, Kaepernick that, Kaepernick doesn't need the NFL anymore. He just got a bag from Medium to be a figurehead of a new publication that's going to interview athletes and activists. Like, are you telling me there's not a plethora of black journalists who could have did that, or creators? You're going to tell me you couldn't have hired Marcus Spears to do that? Like,
rest in peace, Jazz Waters.
It's like, cool. I'm all for it. Give Colin Kaepernick his flowers. Like, no, not taking anything away from him as far as that. But, like, Kaepernick doesn't need us to support him anymore. Like, he's on the other end of it. He's good love. He's enjoying. Like, he got that bag from Nike. He got the settlement. Like, I'm not going to say he created it, but he definitely set the precedent for all of this stuff that's going on right now in terms of brands, like, using social justice as a marketing initiative. Like, him and Nike kind of set that precedent and proved that if you do this, it's going to be good for your business. That doesn't mean that the money and the awareness, that doesn't mean that it's not needed or helpful. I'm just saying, like, it's cute and corny for brands to do that. And that wouldn't be the case without Colin's role in this whole thing. And so when we sit here and just talk about Colin Kaepernick over and over again, we're symbolically annihilating the 2015 first black QB to win the MVP award outright on his own, take a team to a Super Bowl, a man who's been demonized in the Carolinas for his hair, for his bravado, for his trying to feed his family in college, for, in spite of everything that he's done in that community for young black men and really just kids in general. Like, Cam Newton is always doing shit with some kids. Like, he's always doing something.
And they literally put up an IG or
and as soon as his game showed any cracks, it's like he's gone. He's cut. Which is fine. Carolina has the right to do that. But we as people, we as the public, have control over the narrative and control over the thought. And if we want to keep using that to influence the NFL to sign Colin Kaepernick, it's like, why? Like, we really think a dude who's been out for 3 years is better than a dude who just won MVP 4 years ago and for the first time in his whole career, in his whole life, showed weaknesses in his game? Like, stop it. Like, we talked about it last week. Like, if Cap really wants to be a G and and play his role and be everything we want him to be, like, he needs to just come out and say, yes, I still want to play in the NFL, but not if it comes at the expense of Cam Newton, who is actively pursuing. Like, this man's on Instagram every day saying, give me a job.
Working out his
shoulder.
shoulder.
It's like, come on, bro. Like, you guys are, and people want to say, well, you can't really compare them. Like, they should both get a job. And it's like, yeah, they should. But are they? No, because they're competing for the same 96 jobs within these 32 racist institutions. So it's like, it's cute. It's cute now for coaches to come out and say Colin Kaepernick should get signed. But over these past 4 years, nobody was even touching the fucking issue. So now the Ravens want to come out. Now the fucking Eagles want to come out. It's like,
the Niners.
Bro, you guys had all this time to sign him. You didn't. Let's move on. He's moved on. Like, there's a bigger issue right now, and that is that Cam Newton is unemployed and not even really being considered.
That's a hell of a rant, because it started with Donald Trump and ended with Cam Newton. But to further dovetail off your point, I would say Cap should just speak up on the treatment of all black quarterbacks on every level. Like, if he wanted to start if he wanted to continue from kneeling to that, like, okay, you demonized me. I get it. I want to play, probably won't get a shot, and if I do, who knows if it'll work out. But I do want a shot. But you know what you can do to really rectify the situation? Stop demonizing black quarterbacks at every level. In high school, when you only want to use them as a runner and a thrower and a receiver.
And I think that's why this bothers me so much.
Yeah.
And I think that's what bothers me so much is because Cam Newton has done, quote unquote, what we want him to do. Right? He's played in the institution, in the system, in Jerry Richardson's racist, misogynist culture.
They took down his statue and they're not bringing it back up.
So it's like, we want to feel bad for Cam because, like, of all the situation that happened
history will
outside
forget
of him.
about people like Cam Newton.
Exactly, but we're forgetting
and then say
about
he's
Cam
not a
Newton.
Hall of Famer, but Eli Manning is. Fuck out of my face. That's coming. By the way, just to let you know, that's coming 5 years down the road. When Cam might get in, but he probably won't.
Not in.
That's what I'm saying. McNair, all those guys.
McNair, I mean,
he was killed. He was murdered in his sleep. So what? His crazy ass side chick murdered him. He's guilty of nothing else. I can have that conversation all fucking night.
I mean, did you see that special they did on him? He was kind of walking double lifeline situation.
So what? So
you're right.
Fuck what?
You're right. A lot of people
powerful men have all types of women around him.
You're right.
What did he do on the field? How much money did he get? How many? He literally spawned Vince Young.
He's the first black QB to win an MVP. Young. He was the first black QB to win an MVP, and he had to share it with Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning really didn't even need to win.
In the same division.
And I'm pretty sure Tennessee went farther in the fucking playoffs than they did.
I want to say they tied for the division.
In the playoffs, I'm pretty sure Tennessee lasted longer.
I don't remember. I'm gonna look that up.
Than the Colts did.
I'm gonna look that up right now
because I know the Colts were getting asshole by the Patriots all those years, but that's a whole nother story. But yeah, to dovetail off your thing, I think Colin Kaepernick, like, you know, if you're going to be a full-time activist, bro, be a full-time activist for black quarterbacks.
You know that the Chargers like own the Titans? I just thought that was like a weird stat.
They've never lost to the Titans. Have never beaten the Chargers.
No, like they like their all-time record versus the Titans is like really good, and they've beaten the Titans in the playoffs like twice or 3 times.
It happens. I remember when Billy Volek played for the Chargers. Yeah, but yeah, like you look at a guy like Steve McNair, he helped bring about, like, Vince Young was at his quarterback camp. There's a fraternity of black quarterbacks. There always has been. But now all the best QBs in the league are arguably black. Mahomes, Lamar, Deshaun. I love that all those names are typical black names too. Like that's hilarious.
But what? 3 in 10 years?
It's like 5.
3 in 5 years?
But think about it.
Think about it this way, though.
How was Deshaun Watson looked at when he came out of college? People were trying to discredit his whole fucking career.
They just said he was skinny. He was going to RG3.
And he whooped Alabama's ass.
But yeah, you're talking about 3 black MVPs. 3 black MVPs in 5 years compared to 1 in 50 years.
And how many guys played
one
with Cam
Newton? So not even a full one. Half of one.
They only gave him
in 50 years.
It's like that boxer from way back in the day. He in like the 30s or some shit. This black dude. He almost lost. I forget his name. Terrible on my part. But he was down on the scorecard to this white dude, and like he was beating the shit out of this white guy. And had he not knocked him out, he would have lost the fight. You can look that up in boxing lore and history. But when I think about that racism and like how all these black QBs didn't just come out of nowhere, they were always good. Like in Rivals and all these high school rankings and the Elite 11 and shit. Say what you want about Jameis Winston, but the kid can play. He gives you headaches. He's a gunslinger, but he's literally, if you close your eyes, he's kind of just like a Brett Favre.
Okay, so both the Titans and the Colts finished 12-4 in 2003. Mm-hmm. The Colts won the tiebreaker based off of points.
Yeah.
And won the division.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I can find the playoff results.
Because
in the playoffs, the Titans won in the first round. The Colts. It looks like the Colts went farther.
The fuck was that? I don't know if that was a firework or a gunshot, but I'm pretty sure it was a firework.
Yeah, because the Colts went to the conference championship that year. That was the Ty Law year, I think.
They got clapped by the Patriots. But even then, Peyton Manning played like shit in the playoffs. People like to forget that. But early in his career, Peyton Manning played like shit. McNair...
Early in his career?
Yeah. in the
Late in
playoffs.
his career too.
So, I was trying to be
He
nice.
just had a better defense.
I was trying to be nice, but okay. Steve McNair, team on his back. But saying history will want to forget guys like him, Cam Newton.